Alright, good. The microphone is working. It's not picking up the heater. That's good. So, I was going to do a tutorial on how to create a chart card like a manager or, it can be anything. It doesn't have to be a manager. It could be like a commissioner or whatever. But just a card that isn't a wrestler or, that rolls on a chart. But I am waiting for the person who asked me to do it to get in here. So if you are here, you can just go ahead and post in the chat and let me know. We can go ahead and get that started. I just figure I'd give you some time so that, we can, or you don't miss anything. In the meantime, I've been working on this. And he is here. I will come back to this then, and we'll go back to the main menu. We will create a chart card. We'll go to card management. We're going to go to create new card. And then, of course, you've got this whole deal. You're going to come down here and you go to non-wrestler card. It'll bring up the chart stuff. You do your normal stuff. Let's try to find a... I guess, even though I already have him, we're going to add Abdullah Farouk. Because he's the first manager card that popped up on my list of images and everything. Usually when I do this, I flip the card over so I can read the back. And then, of course, you would just enter all your information here. I don't know how tall Abdullah Farouk is, so I'm going to say like 5'9", 180 pounds. All of that is super unimportant. His hometown is from unknown. You don't actually have to enter the height and weight. If you leave it at 0, it will just say unknown. This is I guess I'll call it tutorial set. He does have a mechanic down there in the bold, so we're going to enter that here. Farouk's distractor rating when he manages the peak is 7. And when he manages other wrestlers, it is 6. So there's his mechanic. I'm going to set him at 7 because I'm not going to use him with any other wrestlers, and you can modify this in the match. So you could set it to 6 if you plan on using him mostly with other guys, but if you're planning on using him mostly with the Sheik, you might as well just set it at 7. Then the next thing we need to do is set up his interference chart. So we're going to add a chart. It'll bring up this naming bar here. We write in interference. And then click add. Then we have the interference chart and it is selected. This means that anything we add over here in the chart options is going to be added to the interference chart. You always have to create a chart. If you try to add these to nothing, it will either error out or it will pretend like it's adding them, but it won't actually save them. So you always have to make a chart over there. And then we're going to start on the rolls, 2 through 4. We'll do Farouk jumps. I'm just going to do, you know what? Let's just, opponent rolls pin +4. I'm not going to add all the flavor text just because this is a tutorial. But see how it doesn't clear? So then you add it to 3 and 4. And there we go. We've got all of those. The roll is automatically increased to 5. This is add 1 to opponent's pin. Opponent rolls on level 3. Again, I'm just going to be quick because tutorial. This happens on 5 and 6, so we'll go ahead and add those. And then we have 7 and 8, and that is going to be Sheik rolls on L2O, 7 and 8. 9 and 10 is opponent rolls on L2O. And then 11 and 12 roll DQ. If no DQ, opponent rolls on L3O. And that is 11 and 12. So there we go. You can go above 12 for... there are some cards that have like modifiers or whatever. You can go 5 above whatever your number. So if you're rolling 2d6, it would be 5 above 12, so that's 17. And you can go as low as 0, just in case you have negative modifiers. But this should do it for the card at this point. So if we click on save, or save and exit, either or. Now we're just going to exit here. Never click that save and exit button when you haven't entered a card. It might crash. I think I have a test for that, or a check for that, to make sure you can't do it. But it's not a good idea to do. And then if we go to the tutorial, we see we have Abdullah Farouk. Let's go ahead and throw him in a match, make sure he works. Let's see here. We have my spring 2023 set. We'll use somebody from here. Abdullah Farouk is going to manage... you know what? Let's just make him manage the Sheik. I think I have Hardcore... Legends Hardcore in color. I do. And then we'll stick with the Sheik. And then we'll go down to our tutorial. And we'll add Abdullah Farouk to the red or to the blue corner as a manager. And then he will face off against... we'll make him face Jerry Lawler. The Sheik versus Jerry Lawler. Let's make sure I have this all set up properly. The Sheik. Yep. Everything's good. So we'll go to start match. And you can see that that Abdullah Farouk is over here. He's got his distractor of 7. If he wasn't managing the Sheik, you can always come down. I think it's here. Distractor, and you could lower it to 6 by using this adjuster here. But he is managing the Sheik, so we don't need to. And then we can select that interference chart we've got there and roll on it, and there we go. He is functioning just fine. So that is how you enter a manager card into the application. It's the same process with commissioner cards or the arena cards that I made. These things, it's all the same thing. It's just a chart, and I think, if you bring it up, you can see instead of saying interference chart or interference, it just says arena chart. And we can actually roll. You can actually roll on these here. So, if you click on it, it'll bring up a little thing. You could do that with the managers too, although it doesn't really... there's not a whole lot of point in doing it to the managers. But yeah, so you can roll on his interference chart here. I don't know why you would, but it works. But yeah, so that's how to do that. If you have any other questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. I'll hang out for a couple of minutes to make sure that you're good there. But yeah, it's not super hard. It's just I think the thing that confuses a lot of people is having to create a chart first. They just want to go and add the options. But yeah, it's just some cards have more than one chart. Like a lot of the commissioner cards will have charts for what is it? They'll have the suspensions and the title shots. And so I wanted to be able to add multiple charts on a card so that you know, you could easily create those. So that's why you've got to create a chart first. But yeah, so for everyone who wasn't here or watches this later, this is what I've been working on for the January update. It is a new mod.io browser. It will show you the full card art instead of like if the users uploaded them. You still have to have the old like rectangle banner card art or that mod.io forces you to use, but I don't like that. So what I did is I wrote my own custom browser for it instead of using theirs. And now you can see it'll display the card art and everything. You know, you still got your filters and all that stuff. The best thing about it is if you click this, it will go down to everything that you have uploaded, and you can make changes or edits to it. So you can finally, you know, like if I needed to change my Stu Hart, like I messed something up, I could just update the file, or if I had misspelled something in the bio, I could update the profile or add images. Like it says, only the first image will be displayed in the mod browser. Everything else is just kind of fluff, and you can only view it on the mod.io website. So kind of pointless to upload more than just the one image, which will actually be automatically uploaded for you going forward. But just in case you want to add new images, you can do that. Unfortunately, you can't remove them. That's not my thing. That's a mod.io thing. I don't know why they don't have the ability to remove an image in the whatchamacallit, like their API or SDK or whatever doesn't have a remove image option, so I can't remove them. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. This is a surprising amount of work. I had to learn the entire mod.io SDK and API and all of that stuff. So, but I think it's worth it. It meshes better with the actual program than the old one does too. And you can comment on cards and all that wonderful stuff. Like I think our test comments thread was over my local talent. And you can see it has comments and everything, and you're able to make new comments and all of that wonderful crap. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. That'll be in the whatchamacallit, in the January update, along with some bug fixes and some minor changes to quality of life things. But yeah, so that is that. I will probably play a card later today. That's the plan. I've got some stuff I need to do before I do that, though, so. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will catch you later.